I'm Jay Jacobson, and a little background on myself. I was raised in Chicago, and I'll give you a little clue of where my heart is. 3 days after high school graduation, I ended up in Colorado just because of the beauty.
I'm Beryl Jacobson, and I'm a Canadian from Edmonton, Alberta. I wanted to get my master's degree and needed to come to an American university to do that, and ended up in Colorado. And at Colorado State University, I got my MRS before I got my MS degree.
And that was 55 years ago. When we moved here in 1995, we liked it. Our backyard here was awfully pretty, and there was behind us, probably 100 yards from our back property line, was zoned for 475 apartments. And it had been just all paved over, parking lots, garages, everything. Patty Hostetler, who was on our Homeowners Association board, presented at a board meeting. Look, we're negotiating with the town to buy this land. We think that the town will accept this as part of their open space requirement. We threw a little money into it and encouraged other neighbors that, hey, this is going to be a benefit. Now we've got bears, we've got mule deer, wild turkeys, blue jays, and all sorts of other wildlife, and it's just a wonderful habitat. And that's how we learned about conservation, is working on the Woodlands Bowl with Patty. And then she invited me, I guess there wasn't many people around, to join the board. And so then I was on the finance committee for 10 years, I imagine, and I was steering the investments for Douglas Land Conservancy, because it's so important that they be financially strong to continue on to conserve land.
In 2001, I retired, and I was looking for something meaningful to do. And I knew the people at Douglas County Open Space, and we headed out to Prairie Canyon Ranch for the opening of Prairie Canyon Ranch. And Jennifer Drybread from Douglas County Planning was amazing at raising funds for the open space tax, and I worked with her on some of the programs that she did to encourage people to vote for the open space tax. And then to be at Prairie Canyon with her when she impersonated the first homestead woman at Prairie Canyon Ranch. It was pretty fun, and she let me make a costume for her to wear for her impersonation. And then I just started volunteering, doing historic tours, and have done that for 20 years at Prairie Canyon. I made a dress for myself, and then I made a costume that the school kids could try on. So I have a girl's costume and a boy's costume that they can try on and pretend to be children that might have been at Prairie Canyon in the early 1870s. So the costumes are almost Civil War era costumes, because that's the time frame for Prairie Canyon Ranch. So my costume has a hoop skirt, and it's fun to wear. The kids enjoy seeing what people would have been dressed like at the time. And then at Prairie Canyon, since I'm interested in foods and nutrition and where foods come from, I always bring all the foods that the settlers would have to eat, and talk about the difference between the thousands of foods we can buy in our supermarkets now compared to what the settlers had.
Douglas Land Conservancy has been a fun outlet for us because we have the different activities. JA Ranch is just so special, and it's all conserved land, and we look out onto probably 30,000 acres of open space beyond the picnic table that we're at.
At Prairie Canyon, we talk a lot about wildlife corridors because Prairie Canyon Ranch open space is on a wildlife corridor with Cherry Creek flowing through it. So just really important to get school kids out and get them thinking about wildlife corridors and how important it is to find land, as DLC does, that will preserve these wildlife corridors.
The plein air, I love conversing with the artists and try to volunteer out there because we open up a lot of our open spaces, which sometimes isn't accessible for them to capture on canvas. Some just beautiful paintings. Sort of ironic that I was over in the development side, but I see the need to have open space and land for us to enjoy.
I think it's so important to build strong families. Having open space and conserved spaces to be out in is just very important to our quality of life.
We want to see more and more land conserved so we can enjoy it, because that's why we're here in Colorado.
Look after the forest and the water. Make trails for people to be out enjoying the outdoors.
Our gifts can continue beyond our lives. They will be enjoyed by all the future generations. And that's beautiful to think of.